From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A new study reveals that blood lead levels in residents of Butte Silver Bow have been decreasing and have finally met national levels. I'm Caitlin Aguilez, and I'll let you know more about this study.
And a man who is from the community north of Butte is facing hate crime charges that could leave him in prison for life. What he is accused of doing, that's coming up.
6:31 on this lovely Thursday morning, the first Thursday in June. Chet Lehman, Holly Brantley, Matt Elwell with you here, feeling more like a Thursday in the middle of August out there.
It really does. And the good news is we're not dealing with a ton of humidity, because as we get these temperatures warming up, then we're dealing with the heat and humidity for the afternoon, and we don't have to deal with that. It is going to get hot though, and dangerously hot. Right now, 40s for most of the area, even some 50s sneaking in there. The skies are clear. That means full sunshine as you head into the afternoon. Beautiful shot there. Thanks, Jesse, for setting that up. Planner calling for daytime highs near the 90-degree mark for the afternoon for Bozeman and Butte. It is a fantastic start to the day, but beware, it is going to be hot and it will be strenuous on your body if you're doing some outdoor work. We'll talk more about your forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Video circulating on social media from May shows a grizzly charging at a ranger in Yellowstone National Park.
Last Friday, May 28th, the park ranger arrived to find many people outside their vehicles dangerously close, within 20 yards of a breeding pair of grizzly bears. It was at Norris Junction, Swan Lake Flat. The adult male grizzly became agitated as people did not comply with the ranger's instructions and approached the bears too closely to take pictures and then blocked them from crossing the road. Male grizzly bluff charged the ranger, who made a run for it behind his pickup, hazed the bear into a forest by firing cracker rounds and rubber bullets. He did that to protect the bear and the people. Yellowstone Park Superintendent Cam Shawley says, quote, "The resource management bear technician in the video did an excellent job of hazing the aggressive bear away from visitors who obviously had no clue what kind of danger they were in," end quote. Now, Shawley says man's actions likely saved lives. We do have a link for the pictures of the incident on our website, because we were not able to get permission to use that video on air.
Well, here are a couple of good bear-aware reminders. Carry bear spray and know how to use it. Be alert for traces of bears so you don't come up and surprise the bear. That would be tracks, scat feeding places. Make noise. Do not hike at dawn, dusk, or at night when bears are most active. Stay 100 yards away from bears and do not run from a bear.
100 yards at least away from them. There you go. In other news this morning, a Montana man faces life in prison for allegedly threatening a person with a gun and violent homophobic slurs. Court documents show John Russell Howald of Basin is charged with a hate crime and firing a weapon into a house. An indictment for the March incident says Howald attempted to hurt or kill a person in Basin because of their actual or perceived sexual orientation by firing a gun into the house, saying that he wanted to get, in his words, get rid of the lesbian and gays. Now, if convicted, Howald faces up to life in prison on the hate crime charge and a mandatory minimum of 10 years in prison on the firearms charge. Basin, by the way, about halfway between Butte and Helena.
2 men pled guilty to conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute meth. Stephen Douglas Shipe and David Ray Shaver are both facing prison time. Fines are supervised release. What the men admitted to and how many pounds of meth was intercepted, that is on our website.
Another headlines this morning: old homes may be pretty to look at, but there might be toxins hidden in those walls.
So true. MTN's Caitlin Aguilez takes a look at a new study that revealed how Butte Silver Bow is doing with cleaning up those toxins.
Some good news for people in Butte. The most recent study by Butte Residential Metal Abatement Program shows less lead in residents' blood.
Blood lead levels have dramatically dropped since the inception of Superfund in Butte. Phase 2 did show that it started to level out a little bit, kind of plateau, if you will, but it is plateauing throughout the nation.
Lead levels are a driving force behind the Superfund site and the Butte Residential Metals Abatement Program's biomonitoring. Lead can cause serious damage to a person's body, especially children. According to the CDC, children under the age of 6 are more susceptible to lead poisoning since their bodies are still developing. Lead can be found in paint used in homes that were built before the 1970s, pipes, water, soil, and dust. According to the CDC, concentrations of lead are higher where mining activity has or is occurring. Morgan Hazlett was ecstatic to hear that blood lead levels have decreased in Butte.
I think Butte can get a bad rep being a mining city, but the efforts the community has gone through for cleanup, the amount of money spent on said cleanup, you know, it's great to see that that's paying off.
RMAP has moved on to phase 3, which includes testing other toxins such as arsenic and mercury.
The main driver and main exposure source is lead, but now through this process we have determined that it would be a good addition to the program and the biomonitoring data to start being able to biomonitor for arsenic and mercury as well.
In Butte, Caitlin Aguilas, MTN News.
Well, if you're a parent out there, we don't need to tell you that the cost of childcare is expensive, but a major debate is happening in Congress regarding whether the amount parents should pay should be capped, as well as whether free pre-K education should be expanded across the country. It's all part of President Biden's American Families Plan, which could get a vote in the coming weeks. Our Joe St. George is going in depth on the issue, who it impacts, how much it costs, and how much you could save.
You say hi.
A lot of moms and dads can relate to Gabrielle Alston.
I have a 2-year-old. His name is Gavin.
And her little bundle of joy. And a lot of moms and dads can probably relate to the cost of childcare too. According to the nonpartisan advocacy group Child Care Aware, parents spend on average between $9,200 and $9,600 per child per year on childcare. The price varies by region, but unfortunately for Gabrielle, she lives in Washington, D.C., which is ranked as one of the most expensive cities for childcare for years. It costs her around $50 a day.
To me, that's a lot, because especially if I don't have it and I got other bills.
Childcare, a big part of President Biden's American Families Plan before Congress. In exchange for raising taxes on individuals making more than $450,000 and couples earning more than $500,000, the president wants child care costs capped. If you make less than 1.5 times your state's median income, which is around $40,000 a year in most places, you would only pay 7% of your total salary to child care. That's potentially a game changer for parents like Gabrielle.
It seemed like a good plan, but I guess it depends on how much the parent makes.
In addition to capping costs, the Biden plan calls for a national expansion of free pre-kindergarten learning. The president wants $200 billion for the program, which some cities and states offer already.
All right, so can you write your name?
We recently visited one kindergarten classroom in D.C., a city with one of the largest free pre-K programs in the U.S. Mr. Yoho tells us,
so what does school start with?
It doesn't just save parents money, it better prepares kids.
So those kids, when they come into kindergarten, they're just ready with the foundational skills.
Of course, the challenge with pre-K is the cost. D.C. spends around $18,500 in taxpayer money for every pre-K student enrolled each school year, and the Biden plan calls for local and state governments to pay for part of it.
We're proudly one of the districts that is investing the most in early child education.
Dr. Louis Farabee is D.C.'s Chancellor of Public Schools and says if the Biden plan gets approved, more spots could be offered. After all, not every parent who wants it gets it. This year, there were 19,000 or so applicants for D.C.'s pre-K program. Around 6,200 did not get matched.
We're trying to keep track with demand.
But he cautions national leaders this program has to be done right. He pays pre-K teachers the same as elementary school teachers. Many places do not, he says, and that impacts quality.
So the compensation model is the same whether you teach pre-K or if you're a high school chemistry teacher.
You guys are doing great.
But free public pre-K can have unintended consequences. Traditional private preschools often close because they can't compete. Connor Williams is an academic fellow following childcare and says free pre-K for 3-year-olds can increase the cost of daycare for 1- and 2-year-olds.
Most private care centers make the bulk of their profits on the 3- and 4-year-olds that they serve because they don't have to hire as many staff to serve those students. It's much more expensive to take care of a newborn because you need many more people.
What Connor, Dr. Farabee, Mr. Yoho, and yes, Gabrielle are all saying will play a major role as Congress debates this in the coming weeks. Speaker Pelosi wants a vote in the House by July 4th. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
More to follow in that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, coming up here, I've got 2 words for you. Free beer.
What?
That's always a popular idea. After the break, find out who's making that promise to the entire country and why it's no sure bet.
Ah, there you go. 2 words for you as well. 2 more words. Gayle King. Let's check in with her to see what's coming up at 7 o'clock.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky will join us to discuss the Biden administration's new push to get more Americans vaccinated as demand for the doses appears to be slowing down. That's not good. Also, more concerns for the Summer Olympics as thousands of volunteers quit, with much of Japan still under a COVID state of emergency. That's also not good. And violin virtuoso Midori debuted with the New York Philharmonic when she was just 11 years old. The Kennedy Center honoree tells Vlad Duthiers why she's now dedicated to teaching others. We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.